So I hope you learned something new about iCloud and photos, how it all works together. There is of course a lot more to it, but it's too much to cover in a short video like that, so let's save that for later. In this video, we'll talk more about how to organize your photos. It can be quite hard as most people have thousands of photos and take photos on cameras, digital cameras, iPhones and everything. So we'll talk about how to get a good overview using the sidebar, the side panel, how to use folders and albums and a lot more. So let's just get to it. First of all, my Photos application might look a bit different than yours. Maybe yours looking like this. That's quite simply because I was using a pretty genius function, and that is actually tip number 1. To go to View and then go Show Sidebar. When you do that, you get all your albums and folders and everything in the left side panel here. And that's how you're used to using most applications. So for instance, here we have a side panel and we have a main window and we have something up here. And if you have a look at photos now, you see that that's actually the same thing. This is a very easy and very logical way of viewing or using your computer. So when we go to View and then Show Sidebar, it's a lot easier. I recommend you to do this, and that's pretty much it. Then you can see here that I'm looking at my photos right now. This is called Years, Collections, and Moments. And another option you have is to go to All Photos, and then you see all your photos. Here you can see I have 2,267 items, but this is not really organized in any way. So here's just a grid of all my photos, but if I go to Photos up here, we have the years, collections, and then moments. So why is this important? This is important because a lot of people think or believe that there are a lot of duplicates in their photos library. So this photo, for instance, is actually located. If I go here, I do the secondary click and I go Show in Moment. Then I see that this photo is actually just located, and you see up here, in a moment. So this photo is here and it's here. And this photo could actually also be in an album. So if I create an album, skiing with a dog, then you can see that this photo is now located here. It's in all photos and it's at the same time in a moment. So it appears 3 places, and then a very logical thing to think is that it's duplicated 3 times, but it's actually just taking up space 1 time. So this photo is taking up, let's see, 600 kilobytes. That's nothing, or of course it's something, but it's not very much, but it's not duplicated. So how do I want to organize my photos? The way I want to do this is I want to have photos in albums. So let's say I was at an holiday, which I was here actually. Then I can just hit Command and then select some of the photos I want to put in the album, like this. And then I can hit the plus. I can do album, skiing with a dog. This should probably be called something like Easter holiday in the mountains. So now I have some photos in here with my family skiing, a lot of fun. And then you can see that down here I have a lot of folders and smart albums. And why do I do that? Because in 2016, I was not only on this Easter holiday, I did many trips. So I had another trip here that was skiing in the mountains part 2. And then you'll see I have another album, and then you can have many albums. So what I recommend you to do is go up here on File, and then do new folder, call it skiing 2016, for instance, and then put your albums in here. And then you'll have a folder and then have a lot of albums down here with all your photos. And that's quite often a very good way of structuring things, because otherwise it can be very confusing. So you see here I have 2013, 16, 14, and I can just move them around however I like. And I can actually also create folders within folders. So I can now create a folder called skiing in summer. And then I can put, for instance, yeah, I can do whatever I want to. So I highly recommend you to just look around and understand that my photos are not duplicated. I can watch them or view them here. I can do like this in collections and years, and I should do at least albums, but I would recommend folders as well. So the sidebar, go up into view, show the sidebar, go into photos, look at your memories, how many photos you have in your library, go create a couple of albums, and then you will probably get a lot more out of your photos. So now I highly recommend you to just try this yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.